What's going on, y'all? This your boy, Chris Simmons, coming to you with another podcast episode. And as always, I'm with my partner in crime. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Miss Sandra Cruz. What's going on with you, girl? How you doing?
Hey, today I'm like tired. I'm hungry, tired, everything. I'm the worst.
What? What? You say you hungry, you tired, man. That's crazy, man.
Everything.
That's
No, I'm doing
crazy.
good though. Besides that, I'm doing pretty good. It was a good weekend. I can't complain. Got a lot of stuff done here in the household, but that's about it.
Okay, okay. Well, hey, listen. Um, man, I know I've been having a great day myself for real. It's been busy for real, during the week, I stay busy, but I had a pretty good weekend though. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm still, like I said, for those of y'all who may have missed the memo, I moved down here to Atlanta, going on 3 weeks. It's about to be going on 3 weeks. So I'm definitely loving it down here. Definitely loving the city, loving the culture for real. And this past weekend, I was able to get involved in a few things. So I go to this church out here called the North River Church of Christ, and me and my cousin had put me on in that church because he's been going there since he became a disciple at Kennesaw, and he's been going there, getting involved in that. So he put me on to that church. I've been enjoying that. I love the people down here. I love how friendly they are. And one thing they do outside of like obviously like the Sunday service and stuff is they have like these little activities that they do. Now they have different like things you can get involved in. But particularly for me, I like sports. So I like the how they got like a little sports ministry to where you can play like basketball, volleyball, football, and like all these other sports you can get involved in. But particularly I like the basketball and volleyball. So Saturday, they usually have open gyms to where you can go there, you can play 5-on-5 and stuff like that. And that's where I really got to connect with people and stuff like that because, I think about when I went to college at Kent. That's really how I met my friend group for real. Like I think I mentioned them before, how I had a great group of guys I hung out with at Kent, and a lot of those guys I met were through basketball. So I'm trying to establish that same connection down here as well. So I got to meet a few great guys out there. I got to meet the guy who was in charge of it all, and I established a great connection with him. So really, I just been trying to get active, trying to, connect with people that way. So I know Saturday I was hooping, doing 5-on-5. I was out there balling for real, for real. Like I think the first game I played about five games, and the first game I was really establishing myself. Like I was scoring all the points for real. I was eating, posing dudes up,
Oh,
everything like
okay.
that. You know what I'm saying? I had to show out a little bit. You feel me? I had to show out a little bit. Because it was that tight. Now I played with the speed of the game. So at, at that particular open gym, dudes was going crazy. So I'm like, all right, like if it's gonna be like that, like I'm gonna have to match that intensity or even, exceed that intensity. So dudes was
Yeah.
out there going crazy, like they was actually trying. So I'm like, you know what, let me try myself. So I had to, take over that first game, but then like,
Oh,
you know,
oh,
so
okay.
yeah,
I
yeah.
see
So I had to take over. So
you.
yeah, that was pretty fun. Dudes was seeing that, they was like dap me up and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't like I said, like I'm doing it for the connections for I'm just doing it for the exercise. Like I could care less win or lose. It don't matter to me. But like I said, I just do it for the connections, do it for the, just to meet people, fellowship with people, stuff like that. So that was Saturday. Sunday, I went after church that Sunday. They had a volleyball thing at the same gym. So I went over there, got to meet some more people and stuff like that, and that was fun. Like volleyball, fun for real. Like when you playing it, like just for fun. Like I have two sisters, and I remember coming up. They're involved in like AAU volleyball, school volleyball, and let me tell you something. I I think I just naturally picked it up because I like before like when I started watching them play, I'm like, man, I ain't never like knew some of these rules in volleyball. The only thing I really knew was like when the ball touches the floor, that's a point.
Yeah,
But
that's all
it's
I know.
yeah, but it's so much more than that. Like when I was watching them play, the refs were like making all these calls. Like apparently you can't touch the net. Apparently you can't have more than two hits and stuff like that. It's just so many like different calls in volleyball. But for me, I was just jumping. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to spike it and everything like that. But I was having fun for real. Like I was really, truly, generally having fun, making new connections. So that was my weekend. I had a pretty fun-filled weekend. Like anything that involves doing something like outside of watching TV and the normal people, like the norm where people just watch Netflix and stuff like that. Everything outside of that, for me is really really fun. And yeah, Sandra, did I ask you how your weekend was?
It was good. Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of give a briefing. My weekend was good. I was about to say they do a lot of beach volleyball here. So
Okay,
I I don't know. I think the sand might make it harder, but I don't know. Anyway, it looks fun. But my weekend was good. I can't complain. It was really relaxing. Like, I mean, I had to do a lot of stuff here. So I just stayed in and did stuff. I went out yesterday for a little bit, came home, and that's that, and got prepared for today, you
okay,
know, to
yeah.
be prepped. But it was good. It was
Well,
good.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I also forgot to mention my parents that called me yesterday, so I was grateful that I was able to talk to them yesterday, and glad they checked on me. Seems like they're doing well. That's good. Um, I know that they're planning on trying to come back down here sometime soon. We'll see. I know my dad was talking to me, telling me how like he want to catch a game or something like that. So, maybe they'll come back down here and we'll be able to hang out some more. But it was really cool. Like I had a really really great grateful blessed weekend, stuff like that. Very fun filled, and I want to transition. I want to set that up. So I wanted to set that up to transition to today's topic. And I just think about me and how I've been able to establish myself down here, and knowing that Atlanta's a big city. There's a lot of people out here. You know what I'm saying? You just, like I said, it's a whole new feel for me being in a whole new
Yeah.
city. And sometimes when people make moves like that, right, when they establish themselves in new environments, sometimes they can feel a little timid, what I'm saying, to put themselves
Yeah.
out here because, sometimes like, you're not comfortable with some of the people that you probably don't know. And I've felt this way myself. Like coming up, I was a shy person. I called myself a shy person. So whenever I meet new people, like sometimes like I can like be a little on the reserve side to where it's like, oh, okay, like I don't know you like that. Like I'm just not gonna open up to you like that. But once I really know you for real, I'ma really like embrace who I am. You know what I'm saying? At first I
Yeah.
like to feel you out just to kind of see like, okay, like what type of person are you? But at the end of the day, like I still stay true to who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of, okay, do I really fully express myself to this person that I feel like has is going to add value to me? So sometimes that's where like I'm like, oh, okay, like do I, tell this person everything or do I like kind of keep it back? So I still, and I'm gonna be transparent, like I still struggle with that a little bit. Sometimes I don't, like I said, I can be more reserved when I'm in new environments, but I'm slowly trying to work on that. And that's why like I got involved with the stuff that I did over the
Yeah.
weekend because I feel like that could have been a really great avenue for me to meet people.
Yeah, you're not the only one though, because when I'm in a new setting too, I kind of am reserved as well. It's just you're feeling out the people, you're feeling out the energy in the room, you're feeling out what is most comfortable to you, making sure that you're in a secure setting to be able to give that. I think that comes from a long list of things that have probably happened to us in the past with making new friendships and new social um, connections. But we can't allow that past either to convince us to stay exactly where we're at and never meet any new people, because then we're just going to be in a place of stuck. We'll never give ourselves the opportunity to truly be who we are with others and make really cool connections. I mean, along the way, there's probably connections that you'll say, well, this connection doesn't suit me a little, so maybe I should just move on. But you'll never know if you don't take that chance. I seem to think, and I think it's awesome that you've taken that time to like really get to know people in Atlanta, because that's awesome. You know, you're making these connections. It's a new place. It could be scary too. It's a new place. It's everything else, and you're just getting up in there and meeting people.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is like, I'm talking about me just because like I want to use me as an example to encourage y'all to, be able to take that step, be able to step out and be able to insert yourself out in the world. Because a lot of times we want to stay in our shell. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people feel so, timid
Yeah,
when they go out into new environments and meet new people, man. And nowadays, people like will be like, oh man, like I have a hard time meeting people. I hear this sometimes, like from people when, they're trying to meet somebody new. They're like, man, like, I just find it hard nowadays to like meet people in person now. I feel like I gotta go on these dating apps, or I feel like I gotta go on Instagram and Facebook to make connections. But it's like you're around people every single day. Like if you go out to the mall, to the store, to whatever, like a restaurant, like any public place for real, there's going to be people there. So it's
yeah,
like you can't use that as an excuse, like as to why you can't meet people when you in person, when you're around people every single day. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm sure these same people that you scared of or you scared to talk to, they probably feeling the same way, man. They probably waiting for you to say something. And so they timid themselves. So if you were to go up and be like, hey, like how you doing? And again, I guess I'm spoiled because I'm down here in the South now. See, back when I was living in the North, sometimes it was hard to get people to talk to you. But but knowing that I'm down here in the South, it seems like it's a lot easier for me to like open up
you
because, yeah,
know,
Southern
one key.
hospitality.
Yeah, no, yeah, Southern has that's true. Southern hospitality,
Yeah,
it's so true down there. But one of the things that I found interesting is that people don't know how to bridge it. Like they think that they have to go up to a person and be like, "Hey, how's your day?" Not really. All you can say is, "Yo," you could be like, you can even be like, "Oh, yo, your sneakers look tight," or give a compliment. "Yo, I like that shirt." "Oh man, a dope phone," or something. You know, you can create a conversation if anything, but people get timid, like you said, they get scared, and it keeps them stuck. So I think if they were to know, like you said, that person is probably feeling the same way you do.
right. That's what I'm saying. It's like you don't have to like make it awkward for real. Like you can generally have a natural conversation. Like you can just pick a topic. Like you be like,
Yeah,
hey, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Like you don't have to, do the traditional hi, what's your name, blah blah blah. Like you can go in on a conversation that you want to talk about for real. You know what I'm saying? It's like the worst that people can say to you is no. Like think about that. Like if they say no,
yeah,
then it's like okay, like move on. You know what I'm saying? It's like it is what it is. Like there are going to be
yeah. It is.
people
It
that are
is.
going to want to talk, and then there's going to be people that don't want to talk. So again, it's like one thing is just don't be afraid to again express yourself to other people, man. And I know like a lot of people feel the fear of rejection, but at the end of the day, you can't already have that fear going in your mind to where it's like, oh, like this person ain't gonna like me because well, they don't like what I have to say, well, they don't like my style. But how would you know that if you don't go up to
Try.
them and try and really express yourself?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just take like what I was just talking about, for example, like, okay, so if you one way, like that's one way is to go up and talk to people. That's probably like the most common way to do it. Another thing is just again, like if there are certain interests or certain hobbies that you like to get involved in, just do them in a group setting. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have an interest for, sports, you have interest for like art, you have an interest for music, you have an interest for cooking, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can get involved in your community doing that. You know what I'm saying? And you can make connections, with other people who have those similar interests. So it's just a matter of again, like finding those different niches to where you can get involved in, and you can also be able to connect with people that way, and that can really open up, some other connections because again, you may be talking to somebody while you doing something that you like, you may connect with them, you may be talking, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I have a friend who also likes to do this, or I have a friend who knows a friend, you know what I'm saying? That's how connections happen. You know what I'm saying? You can be talking to somebody, then they talk about who they know. Then, when they bring that person in, then that person talks about who they know. You know what I'm saying? That's how you expand. That's how you grow your connections for real. And I know
You
like,
know, you said something so key though. Like you said, people tend to think, oh, maybe they won't like me, or maybe they want this, or maybe they want that. So see, it all starts with a positive mind frame, knowing that you're going into it and you're not looking for something to really just like a negative, like, oh, they're not gonna like me, or they're not. Instead of saying, let me give it a chance, let's see, you never know who I'm gonna meet, make it a lesson. But people go into things, and especially this, like meeting and making connections, like already with a negative mindset. And so you already placing the tone before it even happens. But like you said, how would you know if you don't try it? How would you know how far you can get? Like you said, you can meet this person, and this person will introduce you to this person, and maybe that person might introduce you to that person. You open up a door. You open up so many doors and so many possibilities when you open up your mind to meet other people and open up to the positivity that you never know how far you can go in this lifetime, or the
yeah,
opportunities that may come knocking at your door.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, and the thing is like, I think the biggest obstacle that a lot of people face when they're trying to meet other people is, again, like we talked about, is just getting in your own head. A lot of it is mental. A
Yep,
lot of the fear that you deal with is just mental.
it's mental.
Is made up in your head. So it's like you
Exactly.
already making worst case scenarios when it hasn't even happened yet. And so your mind naturally just goes into that way of thinking because it's trying to protect itself. Like it's trying to, your mind is trying to protect you from some danger. That's why it always like goes into like,
Yep.
oh, like what if this person does this? Like, I don't think you should go over there and talk to them, or I don't think you should go over there and get involved with them because I don't think that they're great people, or I don't think they're gonna like you. So I would just not. I would just try to avoid it. So your mind naturally goes into that self defense mode, and that can really like hinder you from opening yourself up to opportunities
Yep.
that could really last a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think about, it just kind of reminds me, like just talking about this subject reminds me of how me and you met. Now I know we met virtual, but it's like again, I had the courage to go on that call, even though I knew I wasn't gonna know nobody besides the person that was running it. Like I was like, you know what? Like I had the courage to be like, you know what? Let me go on here, let me check it out, let me like communicate, let me get involved with this virtual event that was happening. You know what I'm saying? And again, it was like if I would have never showed up, if I would have never inserted myself in that meeting or that conversation, I would have never met Miss Sandra if I didn't insert myself. So
Yeah.
again, you got to be able to insert yourself in situations where you feel like, okay, like you can stand out, because don't ever feel like you have to be isolated all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like don't ever feel like, okay, like I can just do this by myself. Like I don't need nobody else. Like, no, like God created all these people on this earth, and there is people on this earth that generally want to be able to help you out. You know what I'm saying? Now, not everybody, unfortunately, not everybody feel that way, but there are people that God has called to be in your life. But you got to be the one to go out and be able to connect with them. You know what I'm saying? And just get off social media. Stop being like, oh, like I'll just go ahead and just find them on social media. I'll just go ahead and hide behind my screen and just go ahead and try to slide in their DMs, or yeah, or comment on their pictures, stuff like that. It's like, bro, that stuff's so artificial, man. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's so artificial, man. It's like
Yeah.
you got like, I'm not trying to throw shade, but it's like, man, like nowadays people feel like, oh, like you gotta shoot me a text, or you gotta, or it's like you be trying to talk to somebody. Let's say you do meet somebody online, they be like, oh, like you be like, oh, like can we call? Can we meet up? They be like, oh, I wanna, just text back and forth. I'm like, bro, that's boring. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like I want to talk to you for real. Like
Yeah.
I want to have a natural conversation. See, I feel like social media has shied us away from having natural interactions with people. Nowadays, people just want to
It
text
definitely
people.
has. I can tell you, like, living coming from the 80s, it definitely has because we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have anything. Like, my first computer was a big computer, it was like in 2000 something. So, definitely, it has hindered the process of really going out there and just meeting people like naturally in the natural environment. And people, they've shied away from that. Like, they'd prefer to do that than really make that connection with other people. It's, it's a real thing, people. It's a real thing.
Yeah, it's just so sad now, like how like when it comes to like dating now, like you got so many dating apps that
Oh yeah,
people want to get on, and it, you know, say it's just like at the end of the day, even if you do want to do that, man, it's still the same process as it was back when your parents met. You know what I'm saying? Boy meets girl, and again, there's got to be some form of communication that happens, man. So it's just crazy how nowadays, you know, people just want to use the app. And nowadays, like I think it was like something about 60 or 70% of marriages, some statistic that I heard how 67 or 70% of marriages now are met online. But it's like, what
I,
were your parents doing back then when they didn't have dating apps like
yeah,
Tinder
they
or
were
Hinge or
being
anything like that? You know what I'm saying?
they were out there.
Right. You know, they was out there, they was talking and they was having real genuine conversations. And I feel like we got to get back to that for real. We got to stop being
Yeah,
scared of each other. That's one thing. We got to stop being scared of each other because,
I think it starts with stop being scared of yourself.
okay. Yeah. Talk about it. Talk about it.
I think it starts there because once you stop having that fear within you, then you open up the doors to do anything you want. Like, you open up that way and you say, okay, now I'm going to give myself the chance. But when you fear yourself or you don't like yourself, you're always going to be looking at it from a negative standpoint. And you're going to say, well, you want to know what? That's when the fear starts to come in. Well, what about if they don't like me? Well, what about if this? Well, what about if that? But what do you like yourself? Do you like the way you've turned out? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. If you do, then what does it matter what anybody else thinks? Go out there, put yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's simple.
And the thing is, like, man, I can get deep with this too. Like, I'm so glad you brought that up because I can go in. I can really go in on this one because, like, you know, when I was doing my Know Your Worth series on Instagram Live, it's like, you know, I talked about how the definition of worth is basically you seeing it. Actually, like, yeah, self-worth. I meant to say self-worth is the one is where you see it. You know what I'm saying? Worth is basically having value in something, but self-worth is you seeing the value in yourself. And so when you
Yeah.
talked about stop being scared of yourself, that goes back to when I was talking about know your worth, man. It's like know what you bring to the table. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Know who God has called you to be and embrace that, man. Because nowadays, man, people want to always like alter and change themselves and change their image just to please people, like please like these group of people, while these group of people over here had already liked you for who you was. So now we
Yeah.
got into a phase to where it's like, oh man, we gotta, you know, alter ourselves to fit like this certain standard that society has placed on us. But it's like, man, like you would be so much better if you could just brace your uniqueness, embrace your authentic self around people that already respect you for that, man. It's like
Yeah.
stop trying to feel like you gotta be in this certain group that has so-called a certain status about them, man. It's like,
Right.
bro,
Or feel like you have to be some type of person to achieve some type of self-worth.
exactly. It's like, you know, we that's why we try to really try to modify ourselves so much is because again, we try to fit in with certain groups of people that first of all never liked us in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
they never liked you. So why are you trying to, you know, embrace what they want when they ain't even embracing what you are? You know what I'm saying? So it's just you gotta think about it, man, before you go out and do that. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy that you say that because a lot of people do that. It's like they're soul searching. It's like they soul search and they jump around to see, like, what, where do I fit in? Who am I? What am I? I think we all go through that stage at one point, but it's important that when you're going and navigating through that point in your life that you not try to live up to someone else's standards, but see your own worth and your own good and your own, like you said, your own uniqueness, and look for that. Look where you fit in with that. Look for people who embrace that from you, you know, because if you keep doing the same thing expecting a different result, not gonna happen. And you're not gonna feel good about yourself to even take that chance to open up those doors to meet new people, have new ideas. Because you're always gonna be like, well, what if? You're always gonna have that what if mentality. Well, what if? And people don't understand that. So what? What if? What about if nobody liked you? What about if nobody? So, what about if that was? And what if? What about if that was the truth? What about if that did happen?
Mm,
Are you gonna die? No. So move on. Maybe those people just weren't for you.
exactly. Yeah. See,
Maybe they
sometimes we,
weren't to fulfill what you're doing right now in life. Some people are just for a season, some people are for a lifetime. You never know until you try.
yeah. And again, and one thing I also want to emphasize is like I feel like that can also be one of our roadblocks as well, other than like not seeing ourselves as valuable or self or worthy. Also, just like having that mental block in our mind to where we have to figure out why certain people don't like us or appreciate us. I feel like that can also like just be a setback in terms of trying to go out here and start ourselves because we always think about what people have done to us in our past or what people have said about us and all this stuff. And we tend to believe that stuff when that stuff is
Yup.
fake, man. Like the things that people make fun of you about, man, and the stuff that people try to talk about and stuff. Most of some of that time, some of the time, man, if it's meant to like diminish your self worth, that stuff fake, man. Some of the time, people that want to point out flaws in you is because they so insecure about themselves that they don't want to admit it. But yet again, they'll come at you because it makes them feel good about who they are. But they are the ones that struggling to know they self worth. So don't if that's what some of y'all who might be listening are thinking like, man, like I can't go out here and meet nobody else. What if they make fun of me? What if they, don't like me because of what somebody said or what somebody posted on Instagram? It's like, man, listen, these people that want to throw shade at you, man, most of the time they hurt too, man. And
Mm.
again, we've heard the saying, hurt people. That's true because
Yes.
because a lot of people point out flaws and you talk about, oh, like your nose is uneven, your eyes is this way, your face look like this, or you walk funny, or this like that. People gonna always like point out flaws in you because they got flaws within themselves, man.
Themselves, and they don't want to recognize it, so they project it on other people. It's serious. It's serious what we're saying right now. It is so true. Not only that, but you know what tends to happen too, since we already have that negative mindset of what if, we look for any little thing to confirm that negative thought we have. Let
Exactly.
me say that again. We look to confirm the negative thoughts we already have. So one little thing happens, see, I told you. I told you they wasn't gonna like me. I told you. What does that have to do with anything? Why are you confirming this negative thought? Maybe that person, like I said, just wasn't meant to be a part of
Right.
your life.
Right. And
Maybe
that
that
one
person's just having a bad day or is a jerk completely. Who knows?
as exactly. And we just gotta learn how to like just let that go and just find others that are willing to celebrate us, not tolerate us. I mean, that's
Yep.
that's just simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can't hold on. We can't sit that. We can't always like sit down and just like question like
Over
why this person doesn't like me. Why this person like a lot of people be trying to find why and like trying to like get clarification or clarity. It's like, bro, some people don't even need that, man. You don't even need to waste your time to get clarity from people that don't even have no reason, man. Just let them go. You know what I'm saying? Move on with your life, man.
yeah.
So I know we got like 8 minutes and 50 seconds. So again,
Man,
if you
I could
didn't,
go all day with this topic.
we could, we might, I think we're gonna have to do a part two. Again, I think we might have to do a part two since Zoom is still
Yeah, I
like
think
on the
so too.
time limit. But I definitely want to go deeper into this, man, because again, like this is what a lot of us struggle nowadays, man. Like, I mean, you can look at the statistics now. You got, you know, anxiety, depression. Like, you got all these mental illnesses going through the roof now, man. It's just crazy. Like the correlation of like social media and just the mental health illnesses, man. Like I've seen like, a few documentaries about it too. Like, and it's just sad like how nowadays people are struggling with that. Like, and you got young people like in their teens now, man, like as early as like 10
Yep.
years old, man, 10 years old, thinking about committing suicide and, trying to end their life because of some little comment somebody said about them. It's like, man, like, what do we, it's like, man, we got to just learn how to embrace ourselves, man, and stop worrying
Yeah.
about what
And
people
you
say.
know where it all begins too? It begins in the home.
Hmm.
It begins in the home. Because when you are born, you are a clean slate. You grow up and you are molded into a person by your parents, by society, by all the experiences you have. And so if you have negative experiences constantly, you're gonna be
Yeah.
thinking that.
Yeah,
So
man.
we definitely need a part two on this, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna do a part two on this, man, because I know we running short on time. Like I don't want to like get into something good and all of a sudden like it just cut off. So yeah, we
Yeah,
got we got about 7 minutes left, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. But listen, like if you didn't take anything else from this session, I just want y'all to know, man, go out and assert yourself and do not be shy, man. Just go out and just embrace your uniqueness and stop like caring about what other people gonna have to say about you, man. Just go out and do it, man. Just go out and
yeah,
do it, and go out and have fun, man. Like I said, like you get one life, you might as well go ahead and enjoy it, man. So don't spend your
absolutely.
time worrying about what people gonna say or think, man. Just go out and search yourself, be your uniqueness, man. There's gonna be somebody that's gonna gravitate towards you, man. So again, if you didn't take none away, hopefully you got that, man. Hopefully you got that. That's the main message for today, man. But anyway, man, we running short on time. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. As always, you already know. Follow me on Instagram at disinfecting your life. That's no spaces, no capitals. Once again, that's at disinfecting your life, no space, no capitals. Also, check me out on Facebook. Like my Facebook page is called Disinfect Your Life. I see that the page is growing, man. I got about like 10 or 15 new followers. So, like I said, like I see y'all trying to connect and stuff like this. So definitely share that with your people, man. Like I said, got some great stuff on there, man. Also, check out Miss Sandra on Instagram at Sandy Yvette. You already know if you need the
You know
link.
what? Actually, sorry to interrupt you real quick. I changed it.
That's right. That's right. Isn't it complete? What is it?
Complete
Complete.
confidence coaching.
Got you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember that because when I tagged you in my post, like I put a different username. So yeah, go to that. So again, you can go to my Instagram, and then if you look at the most recent clips, you'll be able to see her Instagram. I'll link her in there every time. So definitely go check her out, and then also check her Facebook page out as well. What is it at?
That one is total. It's gonna change, but for right now, I have to change it to complete coach confidence coaching. I made up my mind. That's the one we're sticking with. But for right now, it's called total 90-day intensive.
Okay.
So look me up there. I'm super active on there, although I am having some trouble right now switching the gears, but I should be complete with that soon. So, but find me there. A lot of great nuggets on my Facebook group. So
Okay. All right. You already know. Like I said, if you want to connect with us, man, feel free to do so, man. Feel free to connect with us and just reach out to us if you need help, like in any area of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you just need somebody to talk to or anything like that. That's what we here for, man. We ain't therapists, like you know what I'm saying. We ain't no therapists or no psychiatrists, nothing like that, man. So don't like I said, we just here to just spread positive information and also just be a resource to where if you need somebody to talk to, man, just have a authentic, genuine conversation. We your people, man. So, like I said, check us out on social media if you want to connect with us that way. And if you're in the Atlanta area, if you're listening, you in the Atlanta area, like I said, we can always meet up, man. So send me a message on Instagram, like if you want to meet up somewhere in person. I'm specifically in the Cumberland area, so like I said, like if y'all near me, like I said, we can always meet up. Down to do meetups now, so you already know what it is. But anyway, that's a wrap for today. This your boy, Chris Simmons, alongside your partner in crime. Well, my partner in crime, Sandra Cruz. We out, y'all. Take care.
all right, bye.
Peace.